Just a quick heads up, my voice is going to sound a little bit off for the next few videos. If you've been watching my latest content, you probably know that my microphone keeps cutting out and getting fuzzy, so I'm using my computer's inbuilt microphone to try and fix that issue. I should be able to edit out the background noise, but if you hear any bumps or stuff, that's just me fidgeting. Anyway, on with the video. Godzilla Minus One is an amazing movie, and quite a successful one at that. Receiving box office and critical fame worldwide, it's only natural that the studio behind it would want more of that success. I mean, it won the first Oscar for the entire franchise, and is celebrating Godzilla's 70-year anniversary. That's over... Wait, carry the 2. 70 years! I guess what they say about the current state of the Academy is true. They just don't recognize art anymore. Anyway, enough dilly-dallying. Enjoy. Since our last video ended on a rather negative note, let's start with the cons before we consider the pros. Firstly, I don't think that they can one-up the original. The tone, story, and especially the ending are all executed perfectly. It manages to tell a tragic story inspired by real-life catastrophes that Japan has faced, while presenting itself to new audiences and catering to long-time fans. But, sure, maybe they can make a second movie just as, if not better. I wasn't even going to make a video about Godzilla Minus One until I heard about the director's plan for a sequel. You see, in an interview, he stated that Toho, the studio behind the majority of the Godzilla movies, was strongly considering a second part, and that they'd be likely to hire him again. Then he expressed that if he was brought back, he'd include Mechagodzilla, or so help us, King Ghidorah. I'm sure I don't need to explain why this is bad for the aspects I mentioned earlier. Including monster co-stars, especially ones which require either a major time jump or the audience to root for Godzilla, is not going to flow from the original movie. You might argue that the MonsterVerse did this and it's still popular, but add other monsters for Godzilla to fight from the get-go. Also, the MonsterVerse quickly lost what made Minus One a down-to-earth grounded movie: the human element. That's the only thing holding the prospect of a sequel back. Sure, it would be cool to see, and yes, it would make it true to how most Godzilla movies go, but if it isn't broken, then don't fix it. This, if Toho goes through, soon-to-be franchise has so much potential, especially since it ties directly back to the original from 1954. If we assume that it will be a trilogy, the final part could very well be a remake of the original. So for the pros, let's look at how it could bridge that gap. For starters, they could reveal what this black blob is. Is it radiation poisoning? Is it part of Godzilla? Is it a wicked tattoo? We don't know for certain, but it's probably how Noriko survived. Well, a nuclear explosion. Also, Godzilla quote-unquote dies in Tokyo Bay, and in the original film, that's where he lives, and also where Dr. Zerazawa detonates the oxygen destroyer. Oh, and about the oxygen destroyer, one of the biggest questions left unanswered is why it lifted Godzilla up to the surface and made him a skeleton. Well, if Doc loses one of his eyes in the second movie, then it might well be a modified version of the trap they set for Godzilla in Minus One, and could even be designed to destroy any organic life in its blast radius, thus killing Godzilla once and for all, while explaining about the skeleton. Those were the reasons why Godzilla Minus 2 could work or fail miserably. I'm not sure what side I'm on, but let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you all so much for your time and support, and I'll see you all later.